Imagine this. Every action you take, every thought you think, and every word you speak ripples through the fabric of the universe, creating waves that will come crashing back to you, sometimes in ways you cannot foresee, sometimes in ways you can feel deep within your soul. This isn't some ancient superstition or a simple moral tale. This is the law of karma, a universal force that governs the delicate dance between cause and effect. But what if I told you that the true power of karma is far greater, far more profound than you've ever been led to believe? That it's not just about good or bad actions, it's about the very nature of existence itself, the way our consciousness interacts with the unseen forces of the universe. What if I told you that understanding karma can change the way you see yourself, the world, and everything in between? Welcome to a deeper exploration of this ancient law. Today we will not only decode what karma really is, but also uncover its hidden layers, the secrets that have been concealed for millennia, and how this knowledge has shaped civilizations, religions, and mystical traditions throughout time. But beware, this isn't a path for the faint-hearted. The law of karma is not just a simple law, it's an invitation to dive into the eternal mystery of cause and effect, to awaken the dormant power within you, and to embrace the divine responsibility we each hold over our destiny. In this video, we will journey through time and spirit, starting with the origins of the law of karma, its philosophical underpinnings, and its true purpose. We'll explore its hidden dimensions, why it has been misunderstood, and what you can do with this knowledge to transform your life. Are you ready to step into the truth of your actions, to understand the force that shapes your destiny? Then, let us begin. The concept of karma has existed in various forms for thousands of years, but its roots are most deeply embedded in the ancient spiritual traditions of the East, specifically in Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism. However, its essence can be found across many cultures, from the esoteric teachings of the ancient Egyptians to the mystical philosophies of the Greeks. Despite the vast differences in geography and culture, one truth remains consistent. The law of karma is universal, and it touches every soul, every being, across time. In the sacred texts of the Vedas, written over 5,000 years ago in ancient India, karma is described not as a mere ethical guideline, but as a cosmic law, an unbreakable force that ensures balance and justice in the universe. It is the eternal principle that every action, whether physical, mental, or emotional, sets in motion a chain of consequences. As you sow, so shall you reap. This phrase may be familiar to you, but its depth lies in understanding that this law is not simply about morality. It is about the very structure of existence itself. The Bhagavad Gita, one of the most revered texts of Hindu philosophy, speaks at length about karma, emphasizing the importance of detachment and selfless action. In the dialogue between the Prince Arjuna and Lord Krishna, Arjuna is confronted with the moral dilemma of war and violence. Krishna teaches him that it is not the action itself that binds the soul, but the attachment to the fruits of that action. To act without expectation or desire for personal gain. That is the key to liberating oneself from the cycle of karma. But what is truly fascinating is that the understanding of karma was not confined to the Indian subcontinent. Ancient Egyptian philosophies, steeped in mystery, also alluded to the cosmic law of cause and effect. The Egyptians spoke of the Ma'at, the principle of cosmic order and truth. This concept mirrors the law of karma, where harmony is maintained only when individuals act in alignment with divine law and universal justice. In Greece, the philosopher Heraclitus spoke of a universal order, a force that flows through everything, shaping the fate of individuals and nations. Even in the ancient mystery schools of Greece and Egypt, initiates were taught that the soul's journey through successive lifetimes was governed by the law of karma. Each lifetime, a continuation of actions performed in previous ones. But the true depths of karma were hidden from the masses, reserved only for those who dared to seek the esoteric teachings. For centuries, the esoteric nature of karma was intentionally veiled from the common people. Why? Because understanding the full power of karma is not a gift to be given lightly. It holds the key to personal freedom and self-mastery, but it also comes with profound responsibility. Those who understood its true essence were considered to have been initiated into the mysteries of the universe. To be aware of karma's power meant to live consciously, knowing that every thought, every word, and every action creates an invisible thread in the web of existence, weaving your future. Over time, as knowledge became fragmented and the world moved into the age of materialism and intellect, the profound significance of karma was either misunderstood or diluted. It was reduced to a simplistic idea of good versus bad, forgetting that karma transcends moral judgment. It is, in truth, a law of cause and effect, neutral, impartial, and beyond the duality of right and wrong. To comprehend karma is to enter the flow of the universe, to align your actions with the natural order, and embrace the deeper mystery of existence. And so, the law of karma, once hidden in the sacred temples and mysterious scrolls, now beckons us from the shadows, asking us to step forward into the light of its understanding. But the question remains, how does this law truly work? What is the force that binds every action, every thought, and every word? Let us explore the core of karma, diving deeper into its hidden truths. At its most basic level, karma is the universal law of cause and effect. It states that every action you take, every thought you think, and every word you speak sends out an energetic wave that will eventually return to you in some form. However, this simplistic explanation only scratches the surface of the profound complexity within the law of karma. Picture a vast cosmic web stretching across the entire universe. Each thread in this web is a life, a person, an animal, a tree, an atom. Every action we take, every intention we hold, is a thread we weave into this web. Just as a small tug on one thread can cause vibrations to ripple across the entire structure, so too do our actions send ripples through the universe. The nature of these ripples, however, depends on the energy and intention behind our actions. In this context, karma is not merely about good versus bad. It is an energetic exchange that transcends simplistic moral judgment. The true essence of karma lies in intention. This is a concept that even many spiritual traditions have overlooked. It's not simply about what you do, but why you do it. Karma is a reflection of your inner state. If your actions arise from love, compassion, and wisdom, they create harmonious ripples. Ripples that come back to you in ways that nourish your soul. But if your actions are driven by greed, anger, or fear, the ripples are chaotic, disruptive, and will inevitably return in forms that cause pain or imbalance. This is why many spiritual teachings emphasize the importance of self-awareness and mindfulness in every moment. When you act with awareness of the deeper truth of your existence, you begin to see how every small action connects with the greater whole. You recognize the intricate web of interdependence in the universe. The more conscious you become, the more you begin to weave threads of positivity, balance, and light into the fabric of reality. Consider the analogy of a gardener tending to a garden. The gardener, when planting seeds, knows that the type of seed they plant determines the kind of plant that will grow. If they plant seeds of love, kindness, and generosity, the flowers that bloom will be vibrant and abundant, bringing beauty and nourishment to the world. But if they plant seeds of hatred, fear, or selfishness, only thorns and weeds will sprout, causing harm to the garden itself. In the same way, your thoughts, actions, and words are the seeds you plant in the garden of your life. You are the gardener, and the garden is your destiny. The seeds you plant today will bear fruit in the future, sometimes immediately, sometimes after many lifetimes. The law of karma teaches that nothing is random, everything is interconnected, and nothing happens in isolation. It is important to remember that karma is not always about immediate consequences. The time lag between an action and its return can span across lifetimes. This is why it is essential to understand karma as a law that works over time, unfolding in mysterious ways. Your actions may take years or even lifetimes to manifest, but the energy you create is never lost. It reverberates through time, awaiting its moment to return. Yet, there is another layer to this mystery, one that lies within the paradox of the law of karma. You see, karma is not just a law that dictates return, it is also a law of transformation. The very act of becoming aware of your karma, the very act of consciously stepping into the flow of the universe, can change the trajectory of your life. You have the power to evolve your karma through conscious intention. It is this very concept that offers hope and liberation. Imagine standing at the crossroads of two paths. One path is guided by unconscious patterns, the result of past actions, conditioned responses, and old wounds. The other path is one of conscious awareness, where every step is taken with mindfulness, compassion, and wisdom. The law of karma, at its core, offers you the choice of which path you will walk. Will you remain enslaved by past actions, or will you step into the flow of transformation, consciously weaving a new reality with each thought and deed? So, how does karma work on a deeper level? It is not a mere exchange of actions. It is a dance of energy, an interplay of consciousness and cause. When we understand this, we see that karma is not a system of punishment or reward. It is a pathway to self-realization. It is an invitation to awaken to the truth of who we really are, infinite beings of light and potential, weaving our destinies with each conscious step we take. But as we delve deeper into this law, we must explore the paradoxical nature of karma, the way it can be both a force that binds us and a tool that sets us free. It is here that the deeper mysteries of karma unfold, revealing secrets that have been kept hidden for millennia. So, let us continue our journey into the heart of the law of karma and uncover what lies beyond the veil. As we continue to explore the law of karma, it's essential to acknowledge its deeper paradoxes and mysteries. One of the most misunderstood aspects of karma is that it is often seen as a one-dimensional system of cause and effect, an idea that assumes every action must always result in a predictable return based on the good or bad nature of that action. But what if I told you that this understanding of karma is incomplete and that the law holds hidden dimensions far more intricate than it appears? To truly understand the law of karma, we must step into its paradoxical nature. How can we be bound by karma, yet also freed by it? How can we live a life that is both determined by the past and yet entirely open to transformation? The answer lies in the very nature of cause and effect, and in the idea of karmic cycles. First, let's take a step back and consider a common misconception. Many people believe that karma is simply a moral ledger. If you do good, good comes back to you. If you do bad, bad will return. On the surface, this seems reasonable, but it overlooks a crucial aspect of karma, the fact that it is not always a direct, immediate, or linear exchange. Consider this. A person may commit a seemingly negative action. Perhaps they act out of anger or make a decision that harms another. Over time, the consequences of that action may not manifest immediately. Instead, they may arise years, decades, or even lifetimes later. Karma, in its true essence, is a mysterious and non-linear flow of energy. It is shaped not only by the action itself, but by the intention behind the action and the context in which it occurs. That is why two people who commit the same act may experience very different outcomes based on the unique energy and circumstances surrounding their actions. Karma can also be influenced by the state of consciousness at the time of action. For example, an action performed with selfless intention, out of pure love or compassion, may create a much lighter and positive karmic impression, even if the outward result seems challenging. On the other hand, an action that arises from selfishness, fear, or greed, even if it appears to benefit the individual, will create a much heavier and more negative karmic cycle. One of the most profound teachings of karma is that it reveals the impermanence of all things. Nothing is fixed or unchangeable. The nature of karma invites us to embrace transformation, to understand that we are not simply products of our past actions, but co-creators of our future. The power to change your karma lies within your present state of consciousness. Every moment offers a new opportunity to change the trajectory of your life, to shift from unconscious patterns into a state of awakened awareness. This is where we encounter a deeper truth, the concept of karmic liberation or freedom. You may be thinking, if all my actions lead to karmic consequences, am I doomed to be caught in a cycle of perpetual cause and effect? The answer is no. The law of karma does not seek to imprison you. It seeks to awaken you to the realization that you have the power to transform your own fate. This is where the deeper mystical teachings emerge. When one begins to live with full awareness of the law of karma, they enter a state of karmic neutrality. This does not mean that they stop taking action in the world. Instead, it means they act from a place place of pure presence, free from attachment to the results of their actions. By performing actions without expectation of return, by surrendering the fruits of those actions to the divine flow, they transcend the binding nature of karma. This is the ultimate goal of many spiritual traditions, to act in the world but remain not of the world. This, in essence, is the path of liberation. It is a profound realization that although karma shapes the material world, it does not control the soul. The soul is infinite and eternal, capable of transcending the limitations of time and space. When we stop identifying with the outcomes of our actions, when we stop measuring success or failure based on external conditions, we begin to break free from the karmic cycle. However, there's still a lingering question. What about the suffering caused by negative karma? This is perhaps the most difficult aspect to grasp. There is a tendency to view suffering as a punishment, but suffering is not always retribution. In many cases, suffering is the medicine that allows us to heal, grow, and transcend our past mistakes. It is through suffering that we come to understand the depth of our actions, and it is through this understanding that we begin to purify our souls. Suffering, in the context of karma, can be viewed as the opportunity for the soul to learn and evolve. Just as a river carves its path through a mountain over millennia, so too does the soul carve its path through experiences of pain, loss, and challenge. Each of these moments is a precious opportunity for growth, a chance to transform karmic imprints from the past into wisdom for the future. And here's the beauty of it all. Awareness is the key to transforming negative karma. When we become conscious of the actions and thought patterns that have shaped our lives, we can begin to break free from their grip. The law of karma does not bind us forever. It simply invites us to awaken and take responsibility for our energy. Once we are aware of our thoughts and actions, we can shift our intentions, purify our energy, and create new patterns that align with love, compassion, and truth. So, how does karma truly work? It works through cycles of cause and effect, yes, but it is also a law of transformation. The moment we begin to live with awareness, we gain the power to transcend the limitations of the past. We become the masters of our destiny, free to weave a new future for ourselves and for the world around us. Now that we have uncovered these deeper truths of the law of karma, let's explore how we can practically apply this knowledge to our lives. How can we transform our everyday actions and thoughts into conscious acts of creation? How can we begin to break free from the chains of past karma and step into a life of true freedom? The answers lie within you, and they are waiting to be discovered. Let's delve into the practical application of this ancient law. Now that we have peeled back the layers of the law of karma and gazed into its mysterious depths, it's time to take the most crucial step: how to integrate this profound knowledge into our daily lives. True power of karma lies not in understanding it conceptually, but in applying it consciously to our actions, thoughts, and choices. So, how can we begin to transform our lives by embodying the principles of karma? Let us explore some powerful techniques and practices that will allow you to not only align with this law, but to transcend it, becoming the conscious creator of your own destiny. 1. Practice mindfulness and self-awareness. The first step to working with the law of karma is to cultivate mindfulness. Every thought, word, and action that you express creates a ripple in the fabric of the universe. By becoming more aware of your intentions and the impact of your actions, you can begin to consciously shape your future. Start with simple mindfulness exercises. Before acting or speaking, take a moment to pause and reflect on your motivation. Ask yourself, what is the intention behind this action? Is it coming from love, compassion, and wisdom, or from fear, anger, or selfishness? This brief moment of reflection helps you tap into the deeper layers of your consciousness, ensuring that you act with clarity and purpose. Mindfulness isn't limited to large actions. It applies to even the smallest moments of your life, whether you're walking down the street, eating a meal, or interacting with others, bring your full attention to the present moment. The more present you are, the more conscious your actions will become, and the more positive the ripples you create will be. 2. Cultivate compassion and selfless action. The law of karma teaches us that the true nature of our actions is rooted in our intentions. One of the most transformative practices you can adopt is the cultivation of compassion and selfless action. This means performing acts of kindness, not out of a desire for personal gain or recognition, but simply for the sake of offering something valuable to another soul. When you act with compassion, whether it's helping a stranger, listening to a friend in need, or offering love and care to the planet, you align yourself with the higher frequencies of the universe. Acts of selfless service not only improve the lives of those around you, but they also generate positive karma, sending out waves of harmony and healing into the world. Start small. Find moments in your day when you can serve others without expectation of return. It could be as simple as offering a smile to a passing stranger, helping someone carry their groceries, or taking a moment to express gratitude for the blessings you have. These seemingly small actions accumulate over time, creating a strong, positive karmic imprint on your life. 3. Release attachment to outcomes. One of the most potent ways to free yourself from the cycle of karma is to release attachment to the outcomes of your actions. This is a central teaching found in many ancient traditions, including the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna, in his wisdom, teaches Arjuna that the true freedom comes from acting without attachment to the results. When we become overly attached to the fruits of our actions, whether they are success or failure, we inadvertently bind ourselves to future karma, creating expectations and desires that inevitably lead to disappointment or frustration. Instead, practice detachment. This doesn't mean becoming indifferent or disengaged from life, but rather letting go of the need for specific outcomes. Commit yourself fully to the action, without concern for whether it will yield the results you desire. By focusing solely on the present moment and your intention, you allow the universe to work its magic, free from the constraints of personal expectation. One powerful practice to release attachment is to visualize the flow of energy around you. Imagine your actions as seeds planted in the soil of existence. Water them with love, care, and mindfulness, but trust that the universe will decide when and how the fruits will appear. In this way, you become a conscious participant in the web of life, acting freely and with love, without being attached to the specific returns of your actions. 4. Embrace forgiveness and let go of past karma. Another deeply transformative practice in working with the law of karma is to embrace forgiveness. We are all bound by the karmic threads of our past, whether from this lifetime or previous ones. However, the power to break free from negative karmic cycles lies in the ability to forgive both others and ourselves. Forgiveness is not simply a moral act. It is a powerful tool for releasing the heavy weights of the past. When you forgive someone who has wronged you, or forgive yourself for past mistakes, you are untying the knots of negative karma. This act of release creates space for healing and transformation to take place, both within you and in the world around you. A simple but effective technique is to sit in a quiet space, close your eyes, and visualize the person or situation you need to forgive. See the energy of resentment, anger, or guilt dissolving into light. As you let go of these emotions, feel yourself becoming freer, lighter, and more connected to the flow of divine love. This process may take time, especially if the wounds are deep, but with each act of forgiveness, you move closer to breaking free from the cycle of negative karma and creating new positive imprints on your soul's journey. 5. Transform negative patterns through reflection. To heal and transform negative karma, it's essential to reflect on your past actions, behaviors, and thought patterns. Often we are unaware of the ways we perpetuate negative cycles in our lives, be it through judgment, fear, or harmful habits. Take time each day for introspection, perhaps through journaling, meditation, or silent contemplation. Ask yourself, what are the patterns in my life that I continue to repeat? Where do I feel stuck or disconnected? What unconscious motives or fears are driving my actions? By bringing awareness to these hidden aspects of your psyche, you can begin to unravel the karmic threads that have bound you in certain behaviors or situations. Once you've identified these patterns, take conscious steps to change them. Each time you act differently, with intention and awareness, you begin to create new karmic imprints, ones that lead to healing, growth, and spiritual freedom. 6. Cultivate gratitude and humility. Gratitude is one of the most potent energies you can channel to create positive karma. When you live with a heart full of gratitude, whether for the smallest blessings or the grandest experiences, you send out waves of positivity and appreciation that echo through the universe. Gratitude shifts your focus from scarcity to abundance, from lack to fullness, and it magnifies the good in your life. Begin a daily gratitude practice, whether through meditation, journaling, or simply taking a moment at the end of each day to acknowledge the blessings, big or small, that have come your way. Humility also plays a role in this practice. Recognize that everything you have, everything you are, is a result of the karmic web that connects us all. Live in humility, with the understanding that every step you take is an opportunity to serve the greater good of all. As we come to the end of this journey into the depths of the law of karma, we are left with a powerful truth. You are the master of your destiny, the creator of your own reality. The choices you make today are the seeds you will harvest tomorrow. By understanding the unseen laws that govern your actions and becoming conscious of the energy you put into the world, you can transform your life in ways you may have never imagined. The law of karma is not a prison. It is a tool of transformation. It offers you the chance to evolve, to transcend your past, and to become the highest version of yourself. By embracing its teachings with mindfulness, compassion, forgiveness, and self-awareness, you can unlock the door to your own liberation. So, what will you do with this power? Will you continue to act unconsciously, bound by the invisible threads of past actions? Or will you step forward, embracing the wisdom of karma, and weave a new future for yourself? A future built on love, awareness, and freedom. The choice, as always, is yours. If you found this video enlightening, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe for more transformative content.